Hi Greg, it's Brock1912 again. I was watching your video, how much do videos cost to make, and the old-timey film reminded me of this old educational film I have on 16mm called Am I Dependable? It's about 10 minutes. And I have it on 16mm film. So I'm going to play this for you, so enjoy.
How can we tell if a person is dependable? Let's think about that as we watch the situation. Let's suppose that two girls have just come out of a movie. The father of one of the girls is planning to pick them up in front of the show at 3 o'clock. But the girls get out early. And instead of waiting in front of the show, they decide to stop in a restaurant for some ice cream. Now, suppose father drives up to meet them in front of the theater and he finds this. It's 3 o'clock, the time agreed on. But the girls are not where they said they'd be. What about the parent? He can't block traffic and wait for the girls. He'll have to drive around again. Are these girls being dependable? Will father think the girls are dependable? Perhaps we'll be able to judge the girls' dependability by remembering some of the other people we rely on. We depend on doctors, nurses, and dentists to keep us healthy. We depend on lifeguards and firemen for our safety. People depend on each other for many things. We depend on people like telephone operators to provide services. We depend on people to build things properly. It's important to know if a person will do a job correctly. We depend on people for information. So, we need to know how to decide who is dependable. And when we have problems, we need to know whose judgment and understanding we can rely on. One way to tell if a person is dependable is to see how he or she acts in different situations. Suppose a girl has a job babysitting some afternoon. What is expected of a babysitter? For one thing, that she come on time. The babysitter is expected to keep the child out of trouble and amused. A babysitter shouldn't tie up the phone with personal calls, but should take accurate messages if any calls come in. And when it's nap time, the babysitter is expected to see that the child goes to bed. But suppose, when the mother returns from shopping, she finds this. Would the mother think that the babysitter was dependable? Would the mother want her again? On the other hand, how would the mother react if she came home and found this? What would the mother think now? Someone who gives you a job wants to feel that you'll do it correctly. A person's dependability is often judged by how well a job is done. Can people depend on you to do a job well? Another way to judge dependability is by the accuracy of a person's information. Suppose a boy has to get some information from the man who owns his apartment building. And suppose the information has to do with building a clubhouse. The boys begin building the clubhouse under a porch because of the information this boy gave them. The porch is part of the back stairs of the building where he lives. His friends depended on him to talk to the owner, to be sure that it was all right to build a clubhouse there. So, when this boy said that it was all right to build a clubhouse, the boys depended on his information being accurate. But what if the boy's information wasn't accurate? What's that thing doing there? Take it down right away. What would the boys think about the dependability of their friend? Would they be likely to rely on his information again? On the other hand, suppose that the owner reacts like this. That clubhouse looks great. I wanted one like that when I was a kid. Now, what would the boys think about their friend's dependability? Can people depend on you to give accurate information? Let's consider another way to judge dependability. Suppose a girl has a terrible fear of dogs. Now suppose the girl, soon after moving to a new neighborhood, is invited to a slumber party by a new friend. She's delighted at first. But then, the girl remembers something very disturbing. Her new friend has a large dog. Can she turn down the invitation without telling why? The girl wants to go, but she's afraid. Suppose the girl decides to tell another friend about her fear of the dog. The girl wants her friend's advice. But what if the friend reacts like this? The friend laughs at the girl's fear. Later, the friend tells the secret to all their classmates. Would the girl who was afraid of dogs think her friend was very dependable? Would she ask the friend for advice again? Or tell her any other secrets? Now, suppose that when the girl tells the friend about her fear of dogs, the friend reacts like this. She listens sympathetically. Then she suggests that instead of turning down the invitation right away, the girl tries something first. The friend has just gotten a puppy. Perhaps if the girl got to know a little dog, she wouldn't be as afraid of big ones. Now, how would the girl feel about the dependability of her friend? Would the girl want her advice or trust her with a secret again? Can your friend friends depend on you to keep a secret or give good advice? We judge a person's dependability by past performances. We depend on a person who has shown that his information is reliable. We depend on a person to do a job well. The more a person acts dependably, the more dependability becomes a habit. Perhaps now we can judge if these girls are being dependable. It's 11 minutes after 3, and they're still not in front of the show. Being on time for an appointment is only one of many ways a person...
Well, didn't quite finish, but you get the idea. So, if you took the time to watch all that, I appreciate it, and thanks.